Welcome to the module 1. In the module 1, we will be understanding UniProt. UniProt is the database that will provide you detailed information on the protein. We can download FASTA sequence, and FASTA sequence is being used in various other databases, and UniProt will always be the first database that you'll explore to understand the protein function, its structure, its sequence. It will also provide the links for the 3D structure, and you can download those structure files from those databases. I'll explain what is UniProt, what are the different tabs that are available, and by taking the example of a specific protein, we will understand what are the different results that we get in detail. All right, so with that note, let's start the tutorial. Okay, let's get started. We'll start by visiting the UniProt website. For that, you can open up Google first and then type UniProt. Hit enter. The first website that you will get is this one. Click on this and you will be entering into the UniProt website. So as you can see, very simple, very easy to understand interface is there. First, let me tell you what UniProt is. UniProt stands for Universal Protein Resource, which is one of the widely used bioinformatics databases for protein sequence and functional information. You can easily access it by simply going into the Google and typing UniProt, and then you can come to this particular website. The address for the website is www.uniprot.org, and you can directly type that and directly enter into this particular website. Now, the next important thing is the UniProt project is a collaborative project which is maintained by EMBL EBI, which is European Bioinformatics Institute, SIB, which is Swiss Institute of Bioinformatics, BIR, which is Protein Information Resource, USA. All these institutes, they work together to ensure that UniProt remains comprehensive, accurate, and also up-to-date. So this is something that a lot of people are using. This is something, if you're doing research in protein, you will be using this particular resource a lot. Next point is UniProt is an open access resource. That means it's free for everyone to use, including researchers, students, educators across the globe. There is no need to log into or pay any kind of fee for this one. So that helps a lot because the information that you get in UniProt is highly, highly valuable when it comes to research. Next is, and you will see in this tutorial also, UniProt contains a lot of information regarding protein sequence from multiple organisms, detailed functional annotations, information on protein domains, structures, modifications, subcellular location, as well as cross-references to the different databases, and you can directly access that information. One of the most important significance is, especially when it comes to drug discovery, disease research, evolutionary biology, functional genomics, UniProt is really, really essential. So a lot of people are working in UniProt, and then they are doing amazing research. So this has been really great resource for young researchers, especially people who are working in protein science. So we'll start with the search bar over here. You can see this is the search bar, and below what you're seeing are different databases right over here. You have proteins, UniProt knowledge base. So that is the default database when you search anything in UniProt, as you can see over here also. So it is abbreviated as UniProt KB. The short form is UniProt KB. Second one you have is species proteomes. So that means, as you can see over here, that this contains the protein set of species with sequence genome from across the tree of life. Next is protein clusters. As the name indicates, you'll find similar proteins, and the short name for this is UniRef. It contains the cluster of protein sequences at 100%, 90%, and 50% identity. So that means similar proteins you can find from this particular database. And then further, you have sequence archive, which is UniPark, where you have non-redundant archives of publicly available protein sequences seen across the different databases. So that means if you are interested in finding out the sequence of any specific protein, you can get the sequence right over here. In addition to that, you will get various other isoforms of that particular protein. So as you can see in UniProt, you will get comprehensive combination of various databases. So we'll start right over here. As you can see, search bar is something that we can start. You have some options right over here, advanced search. So you can also do that if you have some kind of filters. We'll start. As you can see over here, there are some examples that are given. You can directly click on these. We can click on insulin right over here, and the insulin will pop up over here. If you want to have another protein, you can start with that. I'll just click on this one, and I'll change the name of the protein, and I'll type LAS-R, So this is the protein present in the bacteria, and when you type the specific keyword in that search bar and you hit enter, immediately when you have not used this particular UniProt before, it will ask you that what kind of result you want to have. You want to have results in the form of cards or in the form of table. And based on your preference, you can have cards or table. I'll start with the table. So I'll show the results in the form of table. As you can see clearly over here, is you have different proteins labeled, and these are labeled as entry. So that means the same protein, but different entries are there. Okay, so as you can see over here, I have typed LAS-R. So I'll start with this column number 1, which is entry. In entry, you can see a particular ID, UniProt ID is being given, and you can use this ID and directly search the protein. If you know this ID, you can directly type that in Google and it will direct you to that particular protein. And you can see over here, there are different IDs that are listed for that particular protein. That means there are multiple entries, and we will know why there are multiple entries over here. And as you can see, next is the entry name. So as you can see, you have different proteins that are similar to that particular protein are listed over here. Protein names are also mentioned. So as you can see, LAS-R is similar to RHLR. It's also been mentioned. So they have basically they work in a similar kind of a communication system. So that is why it's been listed over here. And then a gene name is also there for that particular protein. Basically what it means is when you type that specific protein, if you're not giving the name of the organism, it will give you all the organisms that are known to have that particular protein or the similar proteins. So as you can see over here, Pseudomonas, different strains are mentioned, and then again Pseudomonas, because this protein is present in this particular organism. So this is how you can get the results and final length of the protein. So as you can see over here, the length in the form of number of amino acids is also mentioned. You can simply scroll down to see what are the results you have received, and then you can process this information from here. So for example, what you can do is, I'll just go back quickly. On the top, I can click on this one. I have checked this box. That means I'm interested in this entry. And then what I can do, I can see over here in the download one, I have one protein. If I click on this one, I can have another protein. So in the same way, you can basically select all these proteins and get whatever you want to have. For example, if we select the first protein, I'll click on the download right over here, and it'll give me option of downloading FASTA file, which is just a sequence of amino acid with some of the other information. I'll show you that what FASTA file is, and you can download that. Many software, they easily read FASTA sequences when you apply multiple sequence alignment. So this is typically being used file for protein research. As you can see, you can select this one and download FASTA canonical. You have other options also. You can download canonical and isoform. You can download in Excel, JSON. There are so many other options over here. If you want to compress, if you don't want to compress, so that is also available. You click on download, and immediately you'll see the download will happen. And then you click on that, and you will see that the protein FASTA file is downloaded, and you can see this is the information of the protein, specific information. For example, as you can see over here, that protein UniProt ID is there, name of the protein is there, and what that particular protein is, that is also mentioned. Strain name is there, and then all those strains that are mentioned. And as you can see, this is the important part, which is the sequence information of that particular protein. So from here, what you can get is detailed information with just one single file. If you click on multiple organisms, you can have another protein information along with this. So you can have multiple proteins downloaded immediately in the form of FASTA file. For example, if I click on these 3-4 proteins and then I click on download, I can get all those 4 files. So it got downloaded in the compressed form. So I don't want that. I'll immediately just download the text file by not compressing it, and then you can actually see it's more crowded, right? You can see multiple proteins starting from this particular sign. So this represents from where the sequence is going to start. So for example, you can see the name right over here, and then the second protein starts from probably from here. And the softwares, they are designed in a way they can read these sequences without you adding any information or changing this particular file. Very, very convenient. So this is how you can download a FASTA file and then use these files for further processing. What else you can get from UniProt? As you can see over here, this is the result window, and on the left side you can get information on popular organisms. You can get information by taxonomy. You can group by taxonomy, keywords, and there are so many things you can do. Especially you can group them based on binding sites, because if there are similar binding sites, you can group them based on that binding site of that particular protein. So now what we'll do is we'll now enter inside the result tab, and we'll click on one particular protein that was the top hit we got, and then we'll see what information we are getting. So as you can see over here, in UniProt, what you can get is after clicking on that particular ID, you will get the ID in the bold letter on the top. After that, protein name, gene information, status, organism. That is the information that was there on the table also. Amino acids, how many amino acids are there in this particular protein. And then you can also see the information which is given as separate tabs over here. And if you scroll down, the same information is also there in this particular page. Okay, so we can start from first one, which is function. Now we want to know what function of that particular protein is. It's very, very important. We want to know what is the function of the protein. Then we can go to the function, and you can see over here transcriptional activator of elastase structural gene, and it binds to PIA autoinducer molecule. So it tells you a little bit about the protein, but you get a good idea that this particular protein is transcriptional activator protein, and it binds to autoinducer molecules. Right, there are miscellaneous information is also there. If you go down, and then what you can see is the feature. You can actually see the amino acids also, and then next is names and taxonomy. Right, after knowing the function, you can click on the names and taxonomy, and then immediately it will move you to the tab where names and taxonomy, they are mentioned. As you can see, this is the full name of this particular protein. This is the gene name. These are the organisms. Again, in more detail, you can get that information. And then accession number is also written over here. And then you can get organism-specific databases right over here. Links are provided. Next is subcellular location. It is very easy to understand that what is subcellular location. You want to find out where this particular protein is present inside the DNA. Is present inside the organism, as you can see over here, protein DNA complex. This is transcriptional activator, so it's present inside the bacteria and the cytoplasm and interacts with the DNA. Okay, next is phenotypes and variants. So this will tell you what are the natural variants that are present, natural variants that are present in other strains. Not much information is available on this particular protein. We can also click on this particular variant view, and we can get the information on the different variants. Not many variants are available, so as you can see, very few variants are available. You will find so much variants, especially in case of higher organisms. When it comes to human proteins, you'll find a lot of variants. We'll go back to our main page. Now, next is post-translational modifications. You can also get that information. Since this is bacterial protein, you will not find post-translational modification in this case. So we'll move on to the interaction. This protein, okay, we are moving to the interaction. So protein-protein interaction, it will move to the string database. We'll cover the string database in some other modules, not here. That will be covered in how we can identify protein-protein interactions. But as you can see, this is also linked to string, and you can get that information from UniProt as well. Next, let's move on to the structure. So if you want to find out the structure of this particular protein, you can easily get by typing, by clicking on the structure tab, and it will show you the structure. If you move a little bit in this particular window, you will find out that structure is given. You can also interact with this structure. At the same time, if you go a little bit down, you will find all the structures that are available of this particular protein. As you can see, all these structures are from PDB, and you will also find different structure with different resolution, and all these are available right over here. And finally, what you'll see is AlphaFold database structure. This is the predictive one, and you can also use this. But if you have these structures available, then you can select any of these structures based on your requirement, based on whether they are mutant, whether there are some molecules that are bound, depending upon your requirements. So this is a good way where you can get structures also. Usually you get the structure files from Protein Data Bank, and you can be directed to Protein Data Bank from this particular database. So they are all connected. So if you want to have the structure file, you can get to the Protein Data Bank database from here and download the structure file. That will be covered in the another database where we are going to analyze the structure of the protein. Okay, let's move on to the family and domains. If you want to identify if there are specific domains that are available, as you can see over here, HTH Lux R-type domain is being known in this particular protein, not much information, but then you have ProSite database that is being linked. So ProSite provides you information, detailed information about the domains that are present in the protein. So it's really, really helpful identifying what are the classes of different proteins, what are the different regions and different domains inside the protein. So you can also use that information in your research. Next is sequence. So finally, if you want to have the sequence without downloading it, there it is. This is your sequence, and it is being clearly mentioned with the amino acid number also. And you can see the length, you can see the mass of the protein. Sometimes you want to know that information, so you can also download directly from here also immediately. So this will not download the FASTA file. You have to copy this, and then you create your own text file from this particular tab. Okay, similar proteins and keywords are also mentioned over here, but similar proteins, if there are some similar proteins and they are being reported, few proteins are reported which are similar to this one. So you can click on these and then see in different strains of Pseudomonas bacteria. You can see in Pseudomonas, you can see in Pseudomonas species, a particular strain. These are the proteins that are known to have 100% identity, 90% identity. So you can filter them based on their how much similarity is there. So as you can see over here, 90% similarity. And then you have more proteins. When it comes to 50%, you will have more proteins and 50% identity. And this is how you can identify similar proteins. All right, so I think we have covered most of the basic information of UniProt, and as you can see, this contains a lot of information, and you can study your protein in detail. You can also find references about this particular protein, which is very, very important. You can go to the publication tab, and it will tell you what are the publications associated with that particular protein. And you can, at the same time, you can see, and you can also go to PubMed and PMC to get those papers out, and you can read them. They are arranged nicely, and this is how you can get the publication information. There are some external links that are also available. There are historical information about this particular protein also, because as you populate this particular database, you can have older protein sequences and newer protein sequences based on new research that is happening. On the top of the UniProt, you can see a few of the tabs, like BLAST is also available. You can find a protein sequence, similar protein sequence, by running the BLAST sequence, and similarity search by specific ID you can also do. You can put the ID as you know that we have seen the ID of that particular protein, or you can put the FASTA sequence right over here, and then you can run BLAST. So you can simply do that. You can align the particular protein also right over here, and then you can provide the job. It will align the particular protein with the protein of interest, and what it will do. You can also provide multiple protein sequences or nucleotide sequences as the FASTA file, and you can also load from the text file, and that will align the protein, and then protein alignment can be done. There are other tools that are available for alignment. Then you can also do peptide search. You can find UniProt entries to part of their peptide sequences, each at least 7 amino acid long. So using that information, you can search the protein, enter one or more sequences, 100 maximum sequences you can give. So for example, as you can see over here, this is the sequence that is being mentioned as a peptide sequence. Based on that, it will give you the results in the form of that particular protein. So you can do a lot with UniProt based on your requirement. Most of the time, what I do for my research is to download FASTA file. First of all, what I'll do is whenever I want to know anything about the protein, I basically go to UniProt and I'll type the name of that particular protein. And based on the results that I'll get, I'll read about the function, I'll read about the structure, what are the structures available, because that information is compiled and easily available in UniProt. I can also search for different databases to identify and know more about this particular protein. I will also do literature search by using the publication tab, identify important papers on that particular protein. And if I want, I can use BLAST alignment peptide search for that particular protein. So it's really, really essential database. I hope this tutorial give you a good idea about UniProt, and you will be using UniProt a lot in your research. All right, so that was all about the protein database, which is UniProt, and I hope now you have basic information. Now let's move on to another topic and complete this module.